Maria's like, I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to do a personal introduction for Mack. I met Mack a few years ago. We're on a monthly mastermind call. And I have to tell you, Mack, of all the people, that's like 5 or 6 of us, he always shows up with something to share with us, to teach us. And it always comes from his expertise. So he's a very generous, giving person. He knows everything, and actually he's going to talk to us about cybersecurity, and you're going to learn stuff today you don't want to know, because you're going to have to do something about it in your business to protect yourselves. So if you want to protect your business, you want to protect your brand, you want to protect your reputation, and you want to protect your profits, you're going to lean in and listen to Matt, because he's the best person to tell us how to do that today. And I'm sorry in advance, because he's going to probably scare the boop, 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 boop out of you. So welcome my good friend, Mack Jackson, who was president of NSA Las Vegas 12 years ago. Right. Yes. I think you could do better than that, right?
All right, everybody. Let's hear from NSA. Good morning. Yes, good morning, good morning. My name's Mack Jackson Jr. I am a native of Las Vegas. Grew up here, went to UNLV, have my law degree from Thomas Jefferson School of Law, and I am currently a doctoral candidate in cybersecurity assurance from Capella University. Thank you, thank you. And I wanted to welcome you guys here and to say to you that this is a family, right? We're all family here at NSA. And I want to start out by giving homage to one of my mentors, or a couple of my mentors. Darren LaCroix is one of them. And of course, one of my mentors, Mike Rayburn, said that when you're on this stage, it is an honor and a privilege. And I want to let all of you, it is an honor and a privilege to be here on this stage speaking to you today. And thank you very much for that. Just a little bit about me that you may not know, growing up here in Vegas, how I got started on stage to become a speaker. This is me at 19 years old. I danced in Jubilee. If you guys remember Jubilee here in Las Vegas? Yeah, it looks like my son. I remember those abs so long ago, trying to get them back. Yes. It was a great honor to be on stage, and I started out when I was 19 in Jubilee, and Judy Morio, I've known her ever since I was 16 years old. She was my first agent and showbiz agent in modeling school. So, as a family, folks, my job is to make sure that we're secured in our house and our home. And with the security in our home, we must protect ourselves from the weather and the storm that's going on in the world. And the storm is cybersecurity. And I will talk to you about cybersecurity and how to protect yourself and your business, especially as being a speaker. Now, cybersecurity awareness. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. If you haven't, go to my website, mackjacksonjr.com. See, Darren? That's how you put it in, right? Go to my website, mackjacksonjr.com, to find out more. However, folks, when you think of cybersecurity, we're going to talk today about some of the steps within cybersecurity. Talk about your small business, the problem, what's going on out there in the world related to cybersecurity. We're going to talk about who the hackers are, right? Who these bad guys are. And I'm going to ask you questions and see if you guys respond back to what you think these questions will be, or answers to these questions, that is. How it affects your business, and what you can do today to protect yourself from the fastest growing crimes of the 21st century. Here's the problem, folks. There is an uprising in cyber attacks that affects all of us. Here's some stats that I want to share with you. As a scholar, this is some of the things that we research as cybersecurity PhDs. For example, a single cyber attack can affect your business that can cost you $3.62 million. I'm not talking about a large corporation. I'm talking about being a speaker. Your little business can be fined up to $3.6 million. There's been records of small businesses like ourselves fined this much because of a data breach. Did you also know that 60% of all companies that had a cyber attack do not recover? And you think, well, why? Shouldn't the bank take care of it for us? I changed my bank accounts. It should be taken care of, right? No, we're going to talk about that. Why? The Justice Department states that there are 97% of all retailers have had a cyber attack. 7% of all retailers have had a cyber attack. The biggest cyber attacks that are affected right now in our society has to do with the healthcare industry. How many of you have heard all the hacks that are going on with the healthcare industry? It's incredible what's going on in the healthcare industry. And it's not just money that these hackers are looking for. We're going to talk about what they are doing and who they are. Now, here's a list of some of the major cyber attacks that just have happened over the last few months of this year. One of the biggest ones is the war in the Ukrainian war, dealing with Russia and Ukraine. That cyber attack has been tremendous, and we've been monitoring that attack where the Russians have attacked the Ukrainian government and the US as well to try to thwart and stop and use disinformation. It's happened in our previous elections we've had. It affects all of us. So notice the list, folks. We've got Marriott again on the list. Marriott Hotel. This is not the first time, or the second time, or the fourth time they've been hacked. These are large corporations. We have Capital One, Twitter. How many have Twitter accounts? They've been hacked several times. And the next few weeks we'll know if they're still going to be in business or not. All right? The Los Angeles School District, and there's more. But you see what's missing on this list? Your business, and your business being hacked. Because it doesn't make the news, right? We're a small company. These are large companies. These are large companies with millions of dollars in IT equipment and support staff. Here's some of the reasons why. If you look at how businesses work, large corporations, they have the investment to spend on a sophisticated IT security department, sophisticated IT teams. They have lawyers to back them. Small businesses usually outsource, right? You guys know a small business. Who handles your IT team? You outsource to somebody else to take care of it for you. But then you get to the micro business, the small companies like us. Who handles our IT stuff? Your nephew, your niece? Or you have to be in one of our mastermind groups. We know how to handle it that way, right? But it's usually yourself that takes care of these things. And let me tell you, folks, you are the low-hanging fruit that hackers are looking for, because they know that you're not going to spend money like these large corporations in protecting your data. And you're thinking, why? Why should I be concerned? I'm just a little guy. I have a laptop and a couple of accounting programs. No one's interested in my data. Oh, au contraire. They are interested in your data. You are very, very important to hackers. To emphasize my point, I have a video that I want to share with you regarding the threat of cybersecurity.
Cyber criminals are having a field day amid the pandemic and the migration to work from home.
Well, hackers have been attacking businesses of all sizes and types.
Insurers are seeing a massive spike in damages. AIG says ransomware claims have grown 150% since 2018, with ransom demands sometimes growing to tens of millions of dollars, and thieves stealing proprietary information in the process. Cybersecurity Ventures predicts by 2025, cybercrime globally could amount to $10.5 trillion. The head of insurance giant Chubb says it could get worse.
The next pandemic, the exposure that looks like a virus is cyber related because it has no geographic or time bound to it.
Cybercrime investigators say a pandemic is totally plausible. In fact, we're already getting a taste with Microsoft and SolarWind hacks.
Their supply chain attacks. Compromising or exploiting vulnerabilities in their software enabled the adversaries, and not just one adversary, a multitude of adversaries, access to tens of thousands of other networks, hundreds of thousands of customers.
Cyber attacks have the potential to take down the power grid, take down the internet, and all the systems that rely on it. Some lawmakers are now sounding the alarm.
Imagine if an adversary wanted to toy with our financial markets. Imagine if an adversary had the ability to control supply chains and manipulate whatever they wanted. It doesn't take much to realize the horror that would ensue if an adversary were motivated to do any of these things.
Experts in the field say the only way effectively to combat the threat is through a public-private partnership. The government, military, cyber experts, insurers coming together, formulating a plan to defend the system and mitigate the damage. Lessons we could learn from the impact of coronavirus and our failure to plan and respond effectively
Contessa
there, Chef.
Brewer.
Incredible, folks. Incredible. The cyber attacks are out there. I had a chance to talk to several congressmen about these type of attacks, and I've been amazed the stuff that they are saying that the public is not aware of. We are in a cyber war. This is attacks that have been going on for at least 25 years. There are adversaries that are trying to get our personal identifiable information. So let me ask you, where do you think these attacks are coming from? Just hands, where do you think the hackers are coming from? Or who the hackers are? Anybody?
In the press, we always hear the Russian speakers in Bulgaria.
Bulgarian speakers. We've heard North Korea, China.
But I'm suspicious it might be my son in his phone.
Bingo, my friend. Bingo. He said his suspicious could be his son. You know, the hackers that you should be more concerned with, that person sitting to you in the next cubicle, right? The insider threat is the biggest concern of cyber attacks. You have that disgruntled employee that's at work, hating the boss, and decided, I'm gonna get this company back. I didn't get a raise. I'm gonna show them. You have hackers that are actually going out advertising by leaving USB drives, little thumb drives, in parking lots of companies. They leave it on the floor. And you come up from work, you see a USB drive, you pick it up. On the back of it says, Bellagio, 1 terabyte. Oh man, I got 1 terabyte drive somebody left. I'm gonna take it and put it in my computer, right? You put it in the computer, you can affect your machine. But it doesn't happen right away. So a lot of you guys have heard comments that when your machine gets affected, does it blow up immediately? No, folks. No, this is a campaign. Some companies have said they didn't realize that their systems were hacked 4 years after the fact. That's after that disgruntled employee decided to quit, gone, then the virus kicks in. We call it a sleeper cell. And the malware that's used is called a ghosted machine. It just sits and waits. Now, it's been stated that ransomware is one of the biggest cyber threats of the century. How many of you have heard of ransomware? So can you quickly tell me, what do you guys think ransomware is? What is ransomware?
It's software that infects your computer, it encrypts everything, and then you got to pay some big money to get your information.
Correct. Software encrypts everything in your computer. Correct. I have an analogy for you about ransomware. I'm from Las Vegas, grew up here. Remember the days of the mob? All right, remember the days of the mob? And you would have a business that has a restaurant, right? And you have a couple guys coming over and says, hey, you need protection in your restaurant? We'll give you protection. If you don't want a protection, maybe your restaurant burns down. Threaten you, right? And then what do you have to do? Pay them so you can protect your restaurant so it doesn't get burned down. Now, that was a physical analogy. Same with the invisible analogy, the same way. Your machine gets hijacked by ransomware. Yeah, you're a small company, we're speakers, absolutely. Our machines get hijacked by ransomware. It's locked up, we can't have access to it. So what do? Do you pay the ransom? What do you guys think? Pay the ransom? Hands up, pay the ransom? Look, everybody, no way, I'm paying the ransom.
On TV, they pay the ransom.
On TV, yeah, the TV they do. Yeah, you're right, and thank you for that, Kathy. There's a story about that too. You guys remember those stories where the kidnapper calls up the father on the phone and says, hey, we got your wife and your kids. Make sure you bring the $10 million by the lake, 10 p.m., no coppers. You guys remember those stories, right? Same thing when it comes to ransomware. It happened last year. Colonial Pipeline. You guys remember that attack, Colonial Pipeline? Last year, the East Coast was shut down. Gas shut down. The Colonial Pipeline president, he was told to pay $4 million or the hackers would not turn back on the Colonial Pipeline. So he called the FBI, called the Secret Service. You know what they told him? To pay it. He said it was the hardest check he had to write. And these guys are so brazen, guess how you get a hold of them? An 877 number. They have a phone number. They have their organized crime. He called them up and says, okay guys, I'll pay you the money. You know, $4.2 million. He wrote the check, paid for it. And how did he pay it? Bitcoin. Thank you. And why crypto coin? Untraceable. So we think. So this is what happened. He paid it to the hackers. And then the team of our Secret Service and military did some additional hacking behind the scene and put in tracer programs inside that cryptocurrency link. And when the bad guys went to the dock at 10 p.m. to pick up that money, guess who was waiting for them electronically? The FBI was there, but not just virtually. They were asked to follow them physically as well. The organization was called R-Evil. R-Evil is a gang out of Russia that did this type of hack. Our FBI was able to capture the money from the Colonial Pipeline, plus 1,500 different other accounts that were also hacked using our techniques and our service. So there's a lot of good things going on as well. Ransomware affecting hospitals. Kaiser Permanente. You guys familiar with Kaiser Permanente out of California? They were hacked. The hackers said, we want monies or you're not going to get your data back. Which data? The data to take care of sick patients. It's crazy, folks. And if the hospital, if they don't pay, they can't access their information. Several hospitals said, no, we're not going to pay it. Hackers said, okay, fine, you don't pay it. 2 days later, it's been reported that there have been several patients that lost their lives because doctors could not have access to their information. Well, that's crazy. Now we're getting more than just stealing money. Now we're talking affecting patients' lives. And these hackers are brazen, folks. I've been to several meetings with law enforcement that stated that there are organizations in the dark net that you can contact and pay money to do a hack on someone. Let's say you have, in this scenario, an ex-wife paying child support. You can contact these hackers in the dark net, and for paying of cryptocurrency, they will go ahead and hack into your whoever. But even more brazen, if that ex-wife is in the hospital on an IV pump, the hackers can actually go in there and attack their medical equipment because these medical equipment is set up on the internet. Now, a lot of this is changing. The hospitals are working to change this, eradicate this, but it's happening. These hackers always come up with ways and means to try to get our data by going in electronically, getting your personal identifiable information. So we talked about who these hackers are. What is the prize? Personal identifiable information, folks. Personal identifiable information. Using ransomware, identity theft, medical identity theft. Again, one of the fastest ones, medical identity theft. Right? You have insurance. Let me give you a scenario here. Everyone checks their bank account, right? All of us on your phone. So if you see any suspicious activity, we're told to do what? Contact your bank and tell them that, hey, this charge in my account is not correct. Fix it. And the bank will more likely give you a new account, and you move forward. You think you're fine. Yeah, you're not really. Just because the bank gave you a new checking account number and gave the money back doesn't mean the hack's going to stop. They'll possibly have sold your data to some other bad guy along the way. There's other things you need to do to make sure that you are protected from that type of attack. These hackers use all types of sophistication, including social engineering, phishing emails, and the latest one is SMS text messaging. In this video I have shared for you here, this is an amazing video, folks. This is from the Olympics in Las Vegas we called Black Hat and DEF CON. You guys familiar with that, Black Hat and DEF CON? Those of you who don't know, this is where we go to for our training in hacking. Hackers from around the world. Now, hacking doesn't mean bad guy. Hacker can be branched off to two areas. There's white hat and black hat. The white hats are ethical hackers. I'll stand with the hackers. And the dark side of the force, Luke, dark side of the force are the black hat hackers. These are the guys that go in and do the damage and try to take your information. Anyways, there's a convention that comes here every year in Las Vegas. You don't know who's who at these conventions. You're walking next to someone, you're thinking, hey, how's it going, Bob? And he's like, yeah, how's it going? He just hacked into people's accounts. So law enforcement's there. They're trying to figure out who these people are so they can do some arrest, right? In this clip I'm going to show you here, this is something that can happen to every last one of you. The lady you see on the screen is absolutely one of the best hackers in the world. She is showing a hack with a reporter that has his back turned just to right now, and she's going to hack into his account. So he's going to go through and talk about coming to Las Vegas and what DEF CON's like, and he's going to show how he got hacked. All of you who have cell phones, I'm going to mention some names: Verizon, AT&T. Yes. All right, AT&T. T-Mobile, Obama phone. All right, so if you guys have phones, check out this video.
DEF CON is the biggest hacker convention of the year. It's a place where thousands of hackers come to hear talks, to demonstrate their newest hacks. It's actually a place that's so dangerous to be on the internet that they tell you to turn off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on your phone, and they tell you not to use the ATMs too, because those could be hacked as well. This is the DEF CON ballroom. This is sort of the main room where things are happening, and it's pretty wild. I think this is Car Hacking Village. This car's locked. Can you get me in?
I'll unlock it for you. Should be good.
Hacking is no longer like this fringe activity, and if you are at DEF CON, there's a good chance that you're here because you want to learn what could happen to you or your company.
Anyone here first time in the SCCTF? Holy crap.
I invited Chris to hack me with his team, but they're gonna hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some, see if it works?
Yeah, we probably could have our star visher here make some phone calls as
Let's do it.
Sure. Do you want to do a sample vishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice elicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it. Who are you gonna call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider
Okay.
and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna spoof from your number, so it's gonna look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. My husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry, I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for uses information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
gmail.com?
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry, so there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
I really thought that my cell phone company would protect me. I mean, like...
What do you guys think? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? A crying baby in the background caused that to happen. A crying baby. This is called social engineering. It's a psychology of the weakest link when it comes to cybersecurity. And what is that, folks? It's the human factor. Psychology calls this humans being polite, courteous, like our senior citizens, the elderly. You get that phone call on the phone from someone that says, hey, you owe money from Amazon. Give us a call to get rid of this iPhone that you purchased for $1,000. Call back. How many of you have gotten that phone call? Yeah, see, people have gotten that phone call. And you call back, and it's some company out of wherever in a boiler room that says, log onto this account, we're going to clear this off of your record and clear this off your checking account. They tell you a website to go to, right? You go to that website. And once you go to that website and you confirm, they'll say, hold on a second, I'm going to talk to my manager and we'll make sure we get this here reversed off of your account. What they're doing, they're trying to deploy malware onto your machine and steal data from your machine. But as a hacker, we love this. You know why? Because now we're striking back. 2 weeks ago, I was able to go to see one of these transactions in progress. The good guys called the 800 number, talked to this company overseas, and say that, hey man, we got this charge in our account, how can we fix it? They said, no problem, go to this account, log in, and we'll take care of you. Logged into account, and it looks perfectly like Amazon, right? There was partial contact information from the number that they've gotten, because they stole it from someone on the darknet. But here's the thing, folks. As a hacker, what we did is we had them log into a computer they could not see. It's in the cloud. So in other words, if you're looking at it, what are you seeing? Emptiness. The hackers can't download any files onto the server because it's like there's no data there. But what could we see? We could see their stuff. So what happened is a group of hackers hacked into the bad guys on the darknet, copied files and folders from their machine, and be able to save it and send it to law enforcement. During that week of the reverse attack, if you would, there was over $40,000 they were able to recover from senior citizens that were ripped off by these hackers. So we're striking back. All right? Yeah, we can get applause for that. Yeah, we're striking back. Yeah, definitely some good news that are happening. Absolutely good news that's going on with that. So real quickly, I want to go through a couple things when we talk about types of cyber attacks. Let's have everybody go like this. Give me a peace sign, folks. How many of you take selfies? Selfies, you're going, what's up? Right? You know why you're like this, right? What's up? Peace sign, right? When you're selfie. If you send me one of those selfie photos, I can now have your fingerprints. That's right. I can take that actual photo, the JPEG, and blow it up and have it as your fingerprint. Then when you're not looking, I can take that fingerprint and open up your phone. Or what if you were an employee at, let's say, the federal government or the military, and you get in by using your thumbprint to enter a building? You can use that to get your fingerprints from the building. So what's the moral of the story? They go, what's up? Like that, right? You know, this way, not the fingerprints. QR codes. Here's a really interesting one. During a pandemic, restaurants told us, right? They said, hey, you know, we're in a pandemic, so we don't want to serve paper menus for people, so you have a QR code, right? How many have QR codes right now on your work? You guys, yeah, definitely marvelous, Mark, absolutely. QR codes, we use them everywhere, right? All the time, all that we do, QR codes. These hackers, man, I tell you, they don't give up. Ugh, they don't give up. They have gone into restaurants and taken a QR code, take a picture of it, go back to their mother's basement, and redesign the QR code, go back to the restaurant and slap it on the table. Slap a couple of them on the table in the restaurants. So now, when you go to the restaurant with your family and you click on the menu shows up. Looks perfectly fine. Because again, you want to be, as a hacker, stealth. You want to say, gotcha, right? You don't want to do that. So you order your food, you think everything's fine. But at the same time, they've deployed malware on your smartphone. What? How do they do that? By having a fake QR code. All right, so on the back of the brochures that I have at the table, I have a QR code. And yes, do not use QR codes from people or companies that you are not aware of, right? They're not secure, that you don't entrust. And as a family, hope you guys entrust my QR codes. It's a good QR code. It will send you to my website. That's what she said. LA Unified School District. LA Unified School District had a major hack attack that happened a couple of months ago, right? And these hackers are brazen. They said, hey, if you don't pay this money, we are going to expose all of the data about your children, the kids that are in your school. It has information like the social security number, birth certificate, and that's what hackers want, right? As a hacker, you can get their social security number and a birth certificate from an individual, a child, 5 years old. Hell, you can give him credit. That kid could buy a house. You can have fake records. This will go on for what? 16, 17 years? The kid has no idea until he applies for college or get a loan, and the loan officer says, dude, you had a divorce when you were 8. Right? You own a condo in Florida that was repoed. I'm only 14, right? How did he get it? A couple things. One of the hacks that happened here in Las Vegas, it was an OBGYN clinic, folks, where you have the employees that work there disguised as, I want to be working in a doctor's office. But their job was actually to download records for the Russian mafia. And what they did is they take pictures of birth certificates and social security numbers and sell them on the dark net for thousands of dollars. Right? Craziness. Email spam. Email imposter scams. This is something I tell all of our speakers to watch out for. How many of you have your accountant that handles your bills and writes your checks for you? You guys do that? You have someone else to write your checks? Someone else in your organization? No, because you're a small company, right? All right, fine. Major or even small businesses, you'll have a accounts payable department that writes your checks for you. What hackers could do, and I've seen it done, we use an attack called the man-in-the-middle attack. That means that point A, I'm writing an email, and I'm sending it over to point B. Between here, the man in the middle steps in the middle, and he reads the emails going back. Could be even telephone conversations. Just listening. Not hacking right away, not causing any disturbance. Called a ghosting machine also. And he's learning the communications. And then when point A walks away, the hacker steps in and says, by the way, I'm going out of town to do a speaking event. Could you make sure you cut that check for $50,000? And by the way, I have a different vendor to send it to. How's your dog doing? I heard you had to take it to the vet. This person on the other end goes, oh yeah, this is the right person. We just talked about that. They know me. It's the right person. And on top of that, you guys are always told that to look at the email address and it looks suspicious if it's written in a weird character or foreign language. No, remember, he hacked into their particular email address. So the email that's coming through is exactly like the other person. So what do you do about it? Any ideas?
Mess with them.
What, do what?
You mess with them.
You mess with them. You know what my clients are doing? We are in technology now, right? They're using the old-fashioned way. They'll get the email going, what the beep? Knock on the door. Did you just send me this email? They're actually walking over to the other people, picking up a phone call and calling and saying, did you send me this email, to avoid it. Absolutely crazy. Just one more quick thing. How many of you have landlines? You have a landline yet? I love it. Landline. Be careful of landlines, folks, because now hackers have a way now, they'll call you and say, hi, this is Bank of America. We want to give you a call to let you know that you should contact us regarding your account. And you're like, okay, I'll call you back because I'm not sure who you are. Okay, thank you. When you hang up, they have up to 60 seconds before the call actually disconnects. So you pick up the phone, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep. Hello? Hello, yeah, this is Bank of America. Yes, we got for your account. Yes, we'll help you out, no problem. Let's verify your account number. Bang, you just got hacked. It's happened to a couple of our speakers here. I won't tell their names because they're real embarrassed about it, but yes, it has happened. And I'm like, how'd that happen? It's absolutely incredible. I can spoof a phone number to say it comes from Marvelous Mark. And when you pick up the phone, you'll think, oh, Mark just gave me a call. Hey, Mark. Got the drumsticks going on in the background. You think that it's Mark. And Mark's like, hey, by the way, could you send me $50,000? I'm stuck here in South America. You think, wow, it must be Mark. He was on a traveling event. He must see the money. Well, Mark, where do you need the money sent to? Yeah, let me give you my WhatsApp account, my Venmo account. Because that phone came from Mark, you entrust that it's Mark. That it's Marvelous Mark. It's not Marvelous Mark. It's Meddling Mark. So I wrote that last night. It's a meddling Mark, right? It's a hacker that's trying to do that. We've got to be careful of those. So, a couple things. Emails. We've all heard these emails, right? You get an email that states that, hey, this is Microsoft, you need to change your account, right? So what do? You look at this email, it looks suspicious, right? Have you guys seen this emails before? Okay, here's a test that my colleagues and other scholars at the university would really like to know from my family here. Wouldn't you guys really want to know what happens if you click onto one of these emails? Well, you want to see what happens? Like, what does it do to your computer? You know, you hear about it's almost like saying, I have this shotgun. What would happen if I shoot that duck? You know, you're curious. It's part of human psychology. We're curious what would happen. Let me see your group of hands. How many want to see what happens? Good, everybody, right? Come to my training course, and you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see what happens. See, Darren, how I put that in there? Bam, right? Come to my training course, and we talk about this, what happens in the background when you see this. But most of us are educated on this type of email. Here's a second one. Look at this one, folks. You get this email in, telling you it's from American Express, especially if American Express card. Look kind of fake, right?
Wrong logo.
Exactly. Wrong logo. What if it was the right logo? And what if it had your contact information? What would you do when you get emails? Let's hear. What would you do?
No. Delete.
I just heard it. Call American Express. That's right. You pick up a phone and you call American Express. You go, hey man, did you send me an email? What's going on? See, we can't even do business and commerce because of these bad guys, right? We can't even use our technology. These bad guys are all over it. Hackers know this. Which one? That's right, exactly. So we're trained, right? You guys are trained on this type of email. Hackers know this. So they spend times like this. I tell you folks, there are meetings like we have at NSA. There are hacker meetings like this. We have a hacker on stage, the bad guys, and he's talking to other bad guys and saying, this is what we need to do to break into the US system. This is what we need to do to take data from the American public. And they're speaking to other bad guys, just like I'm speaking to you guys as an ethical hacker. So they come up with another way to get our information, and they utilize this. Now what would you do? You have your cell phone. It's from your bank. It says your account's been locked up, compromised. Please click on this link. Now, again, the link itself may be okay. It looks short because we use short URLs. You guys are familiar with short URLs, right? It could be legitimate, so you're thinking, maybe this is correct. It's from my bank, and what's not showing on here is the other messages that your bank has sent to you before, that you have communicated with, right? So now you see this link, what would you do? Scenario, what would you guys do?
Block it. I've gotten a couple of those, I block them immediately.
But you've already talked to them. Your bank has already said, hey, how's it going?
I don't even open it.
Excellent.
I block it.
Absolutely.
It's really important. Wells Fargo would call me on my cell phone.
Great, and they will. Remember, you have a landline, right? You have a landline. See, that's what I'm saying. There you go.
It always goes in voicemail.
The voicemail, there you go. They will call you. So you got to be careful of this. Hackers are using this. This could also come from one of us. One of us doing an event. John sending me a text message saying, hey, Mac, here's a picture of you speaking at one of your events. Check this out. And I'm thinking, wow, John just sent me a link, a SMS message. I'm going to click on it. I click on it, and yes, I'm seeing the picture. It's me speaking. I'm thinking, wow, thanks, John. Text back, thanks, John. Not knowing that hacker has captured John's account and actually sending it and actually putting malware onto a device. So now what do we do, right? We have to have a plan. Well, there is a boxing philosopher that I want all you guys to think about when it comes to plans. And this boxer philosopher said, everyone has a plan until you get hit in the face. Mike Tyson, right? And it's very true. We have a plan to protect us from cyber threats until it affects us. You guys don't worry about it until it happens to you. I usually get the calls after the effect, after hackers have already left, or as they say, the chickens and goats have left the barn, and now you're calling up the cybersecurity people going, what should we do? Anyways, there are laws that are going on right now to protect us right now. Our government, with regulations that are out that are protecting us from these types of cyber attacks and cyber hacks. For your small business, 3 things you should be concerned with. That's the bottom of our screen here. Financial losses, right? Losing money because of these cyber attacks. Company reputation. Would your customers be comfortable working with you if they know they had a cyber attack? That's why you hear in the news that companies like Experian and Equifax had a cyber attack, but they didn't let the public know until a month later, which is a violation of federal law. They have to take up to 48 hours to let the public know. But what do? They're going to their marketing department going, hey man, how can we spin this? How can we make sure we're not going to lose business because of this hack? And legal entanglements. These legal entanglements, folks, are huge. Remember my first slide, $3.62 million, that's for one company. So, what can we do? Quickly here, I'm gonna go through a couple things. Will everybody take out their cell phone for me, please? And wave it in the air like you just don't care? Just kidding. You got your cell phone, all right? All right, I'm recommending you guys do one thing, it's really simple. Turn off your Wi-Fi on your phone. If you are not at a location where Wi-Fi is completely 100% necessary for your cell phone, do not use it. Use it at a location that's secured. Case in point, and real quick here, I know our time's getting low here, but hey, it's so much great stuff to share with you guys. I'm telling you, we've done experiments where I've driven from Boulder City all the way up to Aliante. That's about what, about an hour drive, hour and a half drive, depends on traffic, right? And with my associate, we were looking at how many hotspot routers that our phones were trying to connect to. You're at a stoplight, you have Wi-Fi, it's trying to jump to the internet. The hacker on the corner where you have your phone at the stoplight has a device that will transmit your information to the internet. But before it gets to the internet, they may decide to sprinkle a little malware on your phone. You don't know it. Your phone's in your pockets, in your purse. You're just driving the car not knowing about it. Shut off your malware. Shut off your hotspot. Very, very important. Secondly, to make sure that you have a password manager. How many of you know what a password manager is when you're going to the internet and use a browser? Password manager, right? It manages your passwords. Never, ever use a password, folks. Passwords are so old school. Use a passphrase. Passphrase is when you're logging into your systems. Never a password. You think, well, what's a password? Raiders. That's a password. Raiders backwards is a password. Raiders with exclamation point is a password. Don't use that. Use a passphrase like, I love preaching at Verve. That's a passphrase. Exclamation point, right? It's harder for the hackers to understand, but easy for you to remember. Especially folks with families, where you have young ones and elderly at your home, you need to have a phrase there that everyone can understand. Passphrase. Use a password manager also to encrypt all the passwords you have on the websites that you visit. Now, there are a lot of password managers that are out there. If you want to find out more, contact me on my website, and I can show you the best ways password managers to use. Those are just some of the things we have for you, folks. We need to be proactive, keep secure with all that we do. With my company, Bannerson Cyber Group, we provide these type of services. Training, on-site, virtual as well. Helping you put together policies. Another quick one, what would you do if you lost your computer systems right now? Do you have a plan in place? If you lost your cell phone, It's called business continuity. We can help you put that together. On the desk, you'd see flyers about my business and what we can do to help your business. Folks, our best defense against these major cyber attacks that are affecting each and every one of us is through education. Remember, folks, we need to protect our family from the storm.